Greenville News. Cade made your first career start. How was it going out there on Saturday?
Yeah, Darian. Man, it was a lot of fun. Long time in the process to get to that point. Just a lot of development, but it was just a blessing to be able to go out there, run out there first with the Tigers. Man, the defense that we have is just a blast to be able to play with them. All the guys that are on there. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Kind of like a long time coming, you kind of felt like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I've put a lot of work into this point. Just a blessing to be able to get that opportunity to go out there first.
Chris Fowler with the state. What's it been like working with Chris from?
Man, it's been a blast. He is an exceptional coach. We love what he's done with us so far with our position group. Just really the learning aspect of it. He's just taught us so much about the position and how to play it correctly, just breaking down the fundamentals of it, which, helps us play so much faster. And he's very, very fundamentally sound and wants us to be technically sound, which is great. That's how I am as a player. That's how I approach my game. So it's been a lot of fun just working with him and be able to get down to the nitty-gritty of how to play the position, and it's helped us a ton.
Right now, but just Peter Woods from tackle to him, playing defensive end, what kind of stands out to you about how he made that transition and kind of made it look so smooth?
Yeah, he's just a freak athlete. That's the thing that stands out the most. It took him because he came over in the spring, and it took him, like a week or so to kind of get adjusted, because playing ends, it's not that much different, but there's a little bit of differences that you kind of have to be aware of. But he just took off from there. He's just, everybody knows he's such a good athlete, and he's just fast. Seeing him on the edge and seeing him pass rush especially is just fun to watch. And it was just a seamless transition. It's been fun having him in there.
What did you see on the fumble recovery that you had on Saturday?
Came around the edge, initially saw TJ hit him, saw the ball pop out, but while that was happening, I was in the process of also trying to tackle the quarterback because we kind of both came in there around the same time. And then as soon as I hit the ground and saw the ball kind of rolling away, I was honestly anticipating, I didn't really know how many people were around, so I was anticipating it getting scooped up quick. And I felt like it was there for forever because normally you see a fumble on the ground, it's quick, somebody's got it. But yeah, it just felt like it was there forever. So then I just was like, well, nobody's got it. So I just scrambled, got off the ground as quick as I could. And then looking back at the film, me and DeMonte were both diving at the same time. So yeah, that was a fun play.
Think about the stupid score at all? Were you just very much let me just get on top?
Well, yeah, looking back at the film, I should have definitely. But it was kind of hard to tell who was around. I didn't know NC State guys who was behind me. Offensive linemen, running backs, whatever. So yeah, I should have scooped and scored it, but initially, I was just I just need to fall on it. So yeah.
Dave, go to TigerNet.com. You took the summer and went to the Seegers Ranch out in Montana. I remember when Walker went.
Yeah.
Walker Barsh, he said he couldn't breathe the first 2 days. What made you decide to go there and work? And then, how did that help you? What experiences can you take away from it?
Yeah, David, that was definitely a once in a lifetime trip. We had a good group of 13 guys that went. Walker was one of them. Jonathan White's old kicker was with us on that trip. Florenzo, or long snapper. And that was just something that got put together obviously through Paul Durney and our internship program. We went out there for a week in the summer of 22, I think. And just did manual labor stuff because of liability issues or whatever. We couldn't really work with horses or anything. It was a cattle ranch, but we didn't get to work with any cattle. But we were putting up fences and fixing stuff that they needed, helping fix their barn, just doing stuff they needed, just help around the ranch, just kind of help them out for a week. But that group is specifically just one thing, we got a lot closer. You go with a group of guys that maybe you don't hang out with a lot, because in the facility, you're with your position group mostly, or maybe you're with some group of guys that you're close with. But we got to kind of know each other a lot better on that trip. But also just gave us a different kind of perspective and different kind of appreciation for a different line of work, different career path. And just going out there and kind of getting away from football, doing hard work, obviously, but in a different way than what we see here. So, yeah, I would just say it just gave us an appreciation for what other people do and just, yeah.
What other internships have you done?
I haven't done any other internships per se, but I went on a trip to Los Angeles last spring break with a group of guys with Paul Journey called Business Week. Most of y'all probably know about that or have heard of it. Just went out to Los Angeles for about a week for spring break and just met and networked with, 12, 13 different companies, got perspective on what they do, what their industry does. So that's another trip I've been on with Paul Journey besides Seegers.
John, one with the most very random question. Do you ever hear them yell Cade at practice? It's actually for Cade Club.
Oh, all the time. Happens a lot during Tiger Walk. Yeah. If we're walking anywhere near each other in Tiger Walk, my head's like constantly turning. So yeah, that's pretty funny. That happens a lot.
Like calling you Denhoff more often, or?
Yeah, I mean, if somebody's like specifically trying to get my name, it'll be Denhoff or 44. Cade usually just goes by Cade. But during Tiger Walk, it's kind of, you get Cade a lot from both sides. So that's always fun.
Talked about this before, but just kind of the commitment to stay here and stick it out and get that first career start, I guess, what made you so willing to just grind it out and then do it here versus anywhere else?
Yeah. Really just, I felt like I was just, well, first of all, this is just where I wanted to come, and I felt like this is home for me. And I just wanted to be committed to the place that I, decided to further my education and my athletic career. And I just had hope that there was good things to come in the future. I've never really been a transfer guy, really, that I've never really looked at the transfer portal. It's something I really wanted to pursue. And yeah, just like I said, just felt like home, and I just didn't really want to leave. My feet were settled here, and I just figured, and I've seen plenty of guys in the past, that Coach Sweeney has talked about, or guys that I've played with that have stuck it out 3rd, 4th, 5th year, 6th year sometimes, and get opportunities to play. And I saw that, so I was like, I know it can happen. So I just, keep working, stick it out, and, go from there.
Talk about like Justin Masco and guys like that.
Yeah.
You kind of see like
Progression. Yeah, progression and development. So
coaches have called you kind of steady Eddie type of guy.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think they mean by that?
Yeah, I just, in everything that I do, I try to be consistent. I'm sure that's what they mean when they say steady, but I just try to be consistent in everything that I do, whether that's my practice habits, my workout habits, nutrition. I've spent a lot of time in the training room and in the castle, working on my body, the way I watch tape. Everything week to week. I have a really good routine that I stick to during the season and in the off season. And then my practice habits are always pretty, steady and consistent. So yeah, that's probably what they're talking about. Just being consistent in my habits throughout my life during the season.
With no Peter Woods, the D-line kind of didn't miss a beat with you filling in with the other rotational guys getting in as well. I guess how deep is that defensive line room in your opinion? It's
probably the deepest that it's been since I've been here, honestly. We have a good group of, really everybody on the D-line can play. We could throw them in there and they can play, honestly. But it's the most developed we've been across the board since I've been here. Which is really cool to see. We can all go out there and compete every day at practice as a competition. We're feeding off each other. We're also teaching each other and coaching each other whenever we can. We're really just interested in guys just progressing and getting better each and every day. Really just so that, not only can we win games, but we can have success as a group because we love to see success for each other. That's a big part of, what we do. It's a lot of fun to see guys succeed, make plays.
Kind of going back to what makes Cade take Coach Danny Williams, Coach Doug.
Yeah.
He says you showed up your 8th grade year and you're 5'11", 160, but nobody worked harder.
Yeah.
But when did you say, you know what, I think I'm going to do football. I want to be a football player. I want to go to college. What point did you decide on that?
To be honest, I didn't really have any aspirations. I love sports and I love football, but it really never crossed my mind until it was actually after my 8th grade season. A friend of mine on the team, our quarterback, his dad came out to my dad and just said, something along the lines of, I think your son might have a future in football. And so my dad told me that. So I kind of just took that and was like, all right, let's try it, I guess. And then I always have tried to outwork, my competition or just work as hard as I can at anything I'm doing. Really, it doesn't really matter. But I kind of just took it and ran with it. And then as, going through freshman and sophomore year, getting some looks, and then kind of just happened.
So you were getting some mid-major looks,
Yeah.
right? And you're growing, trying to figure out where you're going to play. What was that first offer like from Coach Saban? That was the first, true Power 5
that was pretty cool. It was especially cool being at the camp because it happened while I was at the Alabama camp. So yeah, that was just a really cool opportunity, just knowing that hard work was paying off, and it was paying off not only from film, but being able to do it in person, at a camp and show your skills. So yeah, that was a lot of fun and very rewarding, I'd say.
Yeah, Clemson's the place you wanted to be. Why? When did you choose Clemson? What made Clemson attractive?
Really, like through about my middle, like late sophomore year, spring of sophomore year, I'd say. I came on an unofficial visit here. And we always talk about the family and the culture, but you compare each visit to the other school that you've been, or you maybe compare each visit to maybe the biggest school that you've been as you're going through the recruiting process. And I had been at a couple other schools before I visited Clemson. But you show up here, it's like a rainy spring day. It's just they're going through spring practice, kind of monotonous, nothing really going on. There's a couple other recruits here. You get invited to meet the entire defensive staff during a defensive staff meeting, and it's little things like that where you might go to another school and you might meet a few coaches. You may not even meet the head coach. You might not meet very many guys from the staff. But everything here is just so inviting, and the family culture. And just getting treated as somebody important is cool in the recruiting process. It's not super flashy. It's just real, and I'm attracted to, people that are real with everybody that they interact with. And it just felt like a place. It just felt like home. I was looking for a place that I knew that, I'd grow as a person and as a player. And this just felt like home from the start.
Any questions for Cade virtually? Anybody else in the room?
Devin's mentioned the Big Man Sneed Award every week they give out. How competitive is it for you guys to maybe get that title? And is it like a big reveal among the defensive offensive linemen who's run the fastest? How does that kind of get presented?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's kind of funny because the defensive ends, it's kind of hard for us because this Big Man Speed Award is you have to be 275 plus. So we don't really fall into that category. We have to, if we wanted to, one of us could maybe slide the speed award for the rest of the positions, but we'd have to be hauling because usually that goes to like Wesco or Cole Turner or something. But yeah, it's always fun to see which guy on the usually it'd be pretty much D tackle or O line that could get that award. Steph Fowler won it this past week, so that was a lot of fun. But it's just part of our Monday superlatives, post game. So, but it's cool to see for sure.
Are those the only two superlatives, the fastest and the Big Man Speed Award?
No, there's plenty of other ones. That's just one of them that we do. That's usually one we do at the end. It's like a speed limit sign that you keep in your meeting room for the week. So it's pretty cool.
Anyone else for Cade? All right, Cade. Appreciate your time, man.
Thank y'all.